Hey guys, and welcome back to Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. As always, I am DemonFire93, and last time we worked through the fourth trial here to figure out that Nekomaru was hung from the doorknob with the wire at the top of the tower, which is Strawberry Grape Tower. Strawberry Tower being the 4th floor through 6th floor, and Grape Tower being first floor through 3rd floor. And he fell from the 4th floor down to the 1st floor, dying instantly.
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Yeah.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Probably.
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
They probably just expected him to panic to the point where he moved around enough that the wire would come off of the doorknob and he'd fall to his death. But instead he had enough weight on him and everything that him panicking caused the doorknob to break off. I gotcha. Okay. The killer didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because... In this case, I should use my full power! With a fierce roar, Nekomaru put all his power into grabbing the doorknob with both hands. But... Not yet, here it comes. The incredible strength of 1 million horsepower! Wait, isn't it creaking? If you break off the doorknob, we'll get stuck in here. If that's really what it was, then that's the clue Nekomaru left for us to find. But wait, wasn't that in Grape Tower, which would have been on the 1st floor?
I see. So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
That can only happen in Strawberry Tower.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said.
You're an idiot?
I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig.
Well, at least you finally understand that.
Isn't that right, Miss Sonia? If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so.
No, I believe you gave your all.
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
Because she knows that that's what you like.
This guy, he gets off on this.
Can we just throw a cold bucket of water on Kazuichi and call it a day?
So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down.
And I still think it's Soda who killed him.
That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
So while we're at it, while we throw a bucket of cold water on Kazuichi, can we also, then, attach a car battery to him and just kill him? Doesn't mean Nekomaru crashed straight into the floor. The moment Nekomaru fell to the floor, the only thing I can think of happened to him was he collided with the pillar! Cola came out of his eyes. Oh, that's good.
When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally, the pillar!
But that's the end of the pillar, Akane, so shut up.
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
Yes.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
For once.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
Either way, he would have died. 4-story drop to the floor would have smashed him to pieces, or him colliding with the pillar smashed him to pieces.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Like I said, it's not the fall that kills you, it's the sudden stop.
Then what about the alarm?
What about the alarm?
I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Then none of it makes sense.
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Oh god, here we go again.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
Stop saying baby gangsta.
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
Sure.
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Okay.
Nah, that's impossible.
Why is that?
Because even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning. Now that you mention it, so did I.
And that is where Nagito asked Fuyuhiko to check all the clocks. Because I think since Nekomaru's clock can't be adjusted, all of the other clocks were.
There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know!
That's what we gotta figure out. Another mystery I don't understand. Seriously, it's just one after another. But I can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more and I'll be able to reach the truth. There should definitely be a clue to breaking through this contradiction. Yep. Radio clock, wall clock, one of those two. I might go with radio clock because that one can't be
We headed for Grape Tower
changed.
before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
So maybe it was
His
tampered
time
with.
of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering.
Uh-huh. Say it, Akane.
They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
Nope.
No, that's wrong!
They couldn't tamper with it. It's not possible.
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
That clock could have tampered with all the other clocks.
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
Yep.
The clock inside Grape House?
Mm-hmm.
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
Thanks, Fuyuhiko. I was wondering if that ever got resolved.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
Except for the one in Nekomaru's chest.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
Oh, God, no.
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
This time-related contradiction. I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? Logic dive. Perhaps we've overlooked something. Maybe we are misunderstanding something. I think if I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. Yay, logic dive! I like logic dives. Though the last one was pretty difficult. Go! Whee! Ah. Uh-oh. Huh? Oh god. Oh god. Son of a bitch. Don't put any spikes up on me. Alright, what did Hajime and the others misunderstand? The time in the building, who the killer is, where the murder happened. The time in the building. Let's go! Huh. Huh. Yep. I'm going a little early on that. What the? Okay, we're getting tricksy now, motherfuckers. Alright, which clock was tampered with? The building clocks. Both. I almost went for both. But no, Nekomaru's can't be tampered with. What? Oh god. Oh god. Could you not? Stop doing this. Caw! This is cool, but also so worrisome for me. Okay. Which house had the wrong time? Both houses. Duh. Yahoo!
It's all coming together.
Hey, yup.
You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah.
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
No, because they all had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
There's only 2.
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
Yep. It's just like what you do during daylight savings time.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
They set the clocks ahead.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased. More
Or behind.
importantly, how much was the time off?
That's the question now, isn't it? 2 hours, right? Because if Nekomaru's... I got it. Okay. So if Nekomaru's chest clock said 7:30, which is when he died, and his alarm went off, and then, you know, we heard the crash at 5:30, it's 2 hours off. She's right, that's the main problem. I need to clarify by how much the time was off after the killer messed with the clocks. That's definitely the next mystery. I'm going to reach the truth in one go. Get right. We are. As long as we can figure out what the truth bullet is. They have to debate. Akane's account? What is Akane's account? Hold on. Who? Motherfucker. Kane's account. Yeah, because it was 5:30 in the morning, right? Hold on. I should check that actually. What is Akane's account? I apparently heard the rumbling at 5:30. Yep, okay.
Then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
Yep.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be? In our time.
I don't know what time zone are
Are
you
there
in.
any clues that can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when you fell.
Thank you.
I agree with that.
Good job, Sonia. First try.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell.
And we
Wasn't it
did.
that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
At 5:30.
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it.
That's a loud boom.
Obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge.
Sonia?
What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Interesting.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
Shut up, Kazuichi.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
I'm trying to figure it out.
If we use that
Shut up,
rumbling
Soda.
sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Then how do you know that the clock was right at that time?
Excellent work, Akane!
Oh wait, it wasn't. Of course not. Duh. It would have said 5:30 at that time. My bad. That rumbling sound we heard was at 5:30 a.m. It's likely the answer to how much time was off is 8 hours. No, 2 hours.
I see!
You can math. Good job, Hajime.
Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
Which means we were all super late to Monokuma Taichi.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
All playing into the death.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious. So they can lure out just Nekomaru.
Yeah, because his clock is not changeable. Lure out only Nekomaru?
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone.
Because he was
right?
heading there for Monokuma Taichi on time.
From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Besides messing with the time, the killer also used a specific thing? If they were trying to lure only Nekomaru, then they used Monokuma Tai Chi.
I see! That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
Yep.
How did they use it?
That's what we needed to go to every
We
morning.
were required to go to Grape Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
Make us arrive late.
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
And when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning,
It was actually the right time for him to be going down to Monokuma Tai Chi.
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m.
Or so around 7 a.m.
And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
Yep.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
I didn't expect you all to ditch.
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
Jeez, how outrageous! I honestly didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi. But it turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right?
I said no such thing.
We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
That's correct.
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it?
100% accurate. You guys missed Monokuma Tai Chi.
What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or something like that.
What?
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Never heard of that expression.
Wrong! Too bad! Liar! I'm right! That's not it! It's incorrect!
Tripping over your own 2 feet?
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Has it? How did the number of suspects drastically decrease? We know it's not Nekomaru. Huh?
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
huh? What the hell do you mean?
What is Fuyuhiko gonna say next?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
The alarm clock went off.
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off.
Yeah.
Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
But as we've seen people create alibis for themselves in these murders, so let's tentatively go with that.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
Everybody at Strawberry House? Or not everybody at Grape House?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Nagito?
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
Nagito? So whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time, right? Wait, what? I'm supposed to guess right now? Is it Nagito?
You're the only one!
What? Is it Nagito?
The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right. Nagito wasn't there.
Is that why he's been acting so fucking weird? Because he actually was the killer?
It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something.
I'm trying to figure this out right now. Was it?
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
Sweet.
If I may be frank, even if
Hi,
I
Frank.
wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
Why not?
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Sure.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
Why? He couldn't.
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me.
Yeah?
It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
No! No! I think I figured it out. And I hate it! No! Why? Oh, man.
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but
I know why you couldn't hear it.
it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
She was in a deluxe room.
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
And that points out who the killer is. The only people who didn't hear the rumbling noise were Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. There should have been a fourth, because the secret is to what the three of them have in common. Could this also be that secret that points to the killer? Oh, man. Whoops. I forget how to shoot these things properly. Ah, stop it! Could I get an L, please? What the fucking hell's happening? Damn it! Damn it! What the hell is happening? I forget which mouse button I need to hit for what.
Got it!
Deluxe rooms. And who was the fourth person in the deluxe room, guys?
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
Soundproof. The guest rooms are divided up by quality grade. The deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. The standard room may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent. And the crummy room has several airflow and draft problems.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise.
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent?
Shut up, Nagito.
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Yeah,
Hold on a sec! Why does that lead to who the killer is?
because there was one other deluxe room.
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Unless, of course, he wasn't in his room.
Decisive factor?
Somehow I feel like I understand what Nagito means. The killer among us. The killer who murdered Nekomaru. I'm gonna go the long way.
the only one!
Gundam, why?
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you.
Why, Gundam? Was it for your hamsters?
When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too.
But how could you if you were in the soundproof room?
What's wrong with that?
Unless you weren't in your room. Please just tell me you weren't in your room. That's the only reason why you came over. Like, oh, I went to go to the archive and read a book or something to try and get me to go to sleep. Because I need to be read to sleep or something from the Book of Hellfire. And that you know, heard the noise from that and came down from the 3rd floor. But well, it's in the I know, the archives in the grape house, so maybe you were playing at the playground. You were sliding down the slide from hell.
If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time.
But that's all that means. That doesn't mean that he was, you know, the killer. Right? Defend yourself, Gundam.
That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Me?
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Mekamaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Damn it!
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower.
Meaning they weren't in their room.
Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
How? Why?
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
But they could have just waited for the alarm clock to go off, and then Fuyuhiko would have had to go to that wall, which is the back wall, and focus on that, and then Soda would come out, and he would come out to it too, and then the both of them would be focusing on that wall, and then he could have snuck back in, so... Come on, Gundam, gotta be smarter with your murder.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room.
Yeah.
Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
But that doesn't... They knew exactly what the alarm was, because they're the one that said it. They could have just decided, oh, I'm gonna wait for them to be focused on the alarm, and then go to my room. Hey, what are you doing? This ruckus, it's louder than the supreme ruler of the netherworld bellowing for a sacrifice. Don't go making all that noise so suddenly.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
Thank you, Akane.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out.
Yeah, but if he would have just waited 5 more seconds, they both would have been, like, in that camera, in that cutscene there, they were both facing the wall with the alarm clock.
That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
I really hope that it's not Gundam, that he has a rebuttal for this next time. But that's all the time we got for today, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see the conclusion next week of this trial. I swear, I don't want it to be Gundam. Please, 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 please.